So let's go over what all has transpired this week. And if you haven't already realized it, so we call our team Team Tryp Community, just because that's what we want to establish as a community. And in retrospect, it could have been family too, which is really cool, because that's kind of the way we look at things in terms of everybody who's in the group and a part of the group. And we want you to be a family amongst each other. Which is really, really important for us, and just kind of how we treat everything in general. So this is a weekly call that we do every week. If you have never joined us before, we do this every single Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. So please feel free to join us. We go over a lot of training. We go over a lot of sort of marketing processes. We go over a lot of information coming out of Tryp, corporate, and just sort of get all that stuff sort of compiled into one quick call. Which is what this is. So first of all, let's talk about the Miami launch. It was definitely a historical event, simply because that was the first ride ever taken officially. Okay, they have been testing for a long time, but that was the first official ride that was taken. And it was very cool. It was very cool to all be together on Friday night for the Super VIP event at our first TripGo Center, which is the Miami Supercar location, which is a very cool place. He's got 56 antique supercars on display. Very, 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 very cool. My mouse is not working. Here we go. There were over 1,800 people who actually attended the event on Saturday night, which was about 600 more than they expected. So, wow, cool. You guys really showed up in a big way, to say the least, right? And it was my absolute honor and joy, and I just had an absolute blast, as many of you saw, emceeing the event from the stage. I was the host. And it was a really good time. So, and the best part of it was getting to know people on our team and in the company and the community in general. It was really nice to have loads of people that I was able to just sort of talk to and put a face to, that I've been seeing or interacting with online. Excuse me. So, and especially the people at corporate and everything. It felt like a family of 1,800 in a kind of a strange sort of way. So I think maybe a lot of you would agree with that statement. Okay, so let's talk about the major takeaways from Miami. Okay, one of my major takeaways is that we need to do everything we do from here on out needs to be in Spanish, especially for southern cities. So one of the things I got working on right away, because certain members of our team said, "Hey, we really need a professional flyer in the back of our cars when we're driving to encourage current competition riders to join Tryp." Okay, so I got that done. My dev team is almost done with it. The flyer itself is done. The dev team just needs to get the referral ID in the right place when it auto generates. So again, going to our tools section, which I'll also put down in the description for the video on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, okay, in the tools section, you'll actually go and be able to generate that flyer. I've also done it in Spanish. Okay, so the Spanish one is also done and being worked on right now as well. So we'll have both of those things launched by Monday in our tools section, which will be very cool, because what that is, it's a very professional, awesome looking flyer that you can have laminated and then stick behind your seats, one in Spanish, one in English, behind your seats if you're driving, and people will be joining you underneath you when they join as a rider, which is just another way to get things rolling. So the Miami rideshare drivers that I took about a dozen rideshares when I was there, they all knew about Tryp. And what was really cool on Sunday when we were taking a trip back from South Beach, okay, is the driver there, we said to him, "Hey, and it was all Spanish and I speak Spanish." So I'm talking to him and I said, "Hey, have you heard of Tryp?" And he's like, yeah. They just took their first ride today. And he literally on one of his cell phones played the video of the first ride being taken for all of us in the car. We were like, wow, that is really cool. And it was really cool. He was so excited. He couldn't wait to join. The energy in Miami amongst the rideshare drivers was absolutely electric. I mean, they just cannot wait for Tryp to be fully up and running there. They are just beyond excited. They just are so ready for something different that treats the drivers fairly, that puts the drivers first, and that's what we're delivering here. So Tryp also continues their process of being driver-centric. Okay, I will explain that more. I've got slides that really explain that, but it was very clear to me and everybody else who attended, like, this company just continues to err on the side of the driver. So it's very, very, very cool. Okay. And the bottom line is I cannot wait to do it again. It was so fun. So major announcements. Okay. In Miami, Tryp signed a partnership with the Miami Dolphins National Football League team. Wow. Okay. That's all I can say was wow. When the VP of corporate partnerships, I think that's what his role was, Steve Mullins, came up on stage. I mean, everybody kind of was like, wait a minute, why is somebody from the Miami Dolphins coming up on stage? And he just launched right into it. He just said, we have announced a partnership with Tryp. And I mean, that place exploded. That was one of it was the very first speaker besides myself that was on stage. And it was really quite amazing. Okay. They also changed the process for all drivers to now be 150% of revenue before any payments are due. Okay. And I'll get more into that as well. So this 150% is something I want you to really fix into your language when you're talking to drivers, when you're talking to potential influencers. Okay. This is going to be rolling out Corporate Ride. This is going to be a new process. It's going to be the process for them, is the way it's been explained to me. Okay. They also changed the process for armed service members to join Tryp and drive very, very dramatically. We'll get into that. I've got a whole slide on that. And they gave away a car. I mean, it was very cool. A car, very, very nice car. Okay. So let's talk about the Miami Dolphins partnership. Every first down that the Miami Dolphins has, they're going to be a Tryp car that's going to go racing around the stadium, which is really, really awesome. So talk about great branding and great sort of a great partnership. Tryp is going to have its own lane up to the front of the stadium where they'll drop off and pick up their passengers. He was saying that of all their events, about 33% of them at the Hard Rock Stadium, which is where the Dolphins play, are come and go in a rideshare, which is awesome, right? I mean, talk about incredible PR just overall for the company. And then it really validates what Tryp is doing when a company like the Miami Dolphins sign on. Okay. So if you're talking to anybody who says, I don't think this thing's real, Miami Dolphins, baby. Okay. Miami Dolphins. That's all I have to say. Miami Dolphins. All right. And that's all I am saying. Miami Dolphins. 100%, 150% for everything. Okay. So the way it's going to roll out is that drivers don't pay until they have earned 150% of $249. Okay. So the initial subscription fee, they deferred that with Miami. It looks like that's going to be a continuing process. Okay. And until they earn a certain amount, which is 150%, somewhere around $375, that is not due. It also works with the monthly. They announced this last night, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. That is awesome. Drivers don't pay the monthly unless they've earned 150% for that month. So if they haven't earned 150%, okay, they don't pay. Which, I mean, talk about a commitment to rolling this thing out respectfully and responsibly for the drivers. We know that we're not competing with Uber and Lyft today, okay? We just don't have $2 billion to go spend on advertising. It's not going to happen, okay? But we will get there, okay? That's the thing. It's that we will get there. And in getting there, okay, we've got an on-ramp now for anybody to get on the Tryp highway, okay, and know that they're not going to ever lose money with our company, ever. Okay, we are committed to this. So what does this look like? Okay, so the $249, okay, they don't pay that until they have earned $375. Then that's due. Okay, in a single month, if they're on the $199 a month, okay, they don't pay unless they've earned $298 that month. Okay, if they've earned $297, they don't pay that. Okay, that is commitment to the drivers. That is a very smart, intelligent way to roll this thing out so that everybody stays consistently happy. Okay, There's no bad mouthing what we're doing here, okay? We don't want that. We can't have that as a company, all right? It's this consistency and this commitment to the drivers is unwavering, and that proves it right there on the screen, okay? You don't pay unless you earn, period, okay? Now, we're going to get to a point where there's going to be plenty of riders in a particular city, okay? And then at that point, this will probably no longer be necessary. Okay, maybe they'll just leave it. I don't know. But I mean, this is a rollout strategy that really helps you as a driver to feel 100% confident that this company stands behind you, which is really, really fantastic. I'm so thrilled for that. Now, they've also changed the armed services commitment. Okay, active members of the services or veterans no longer pay the activation fee of $249. It is waived, done, gonzo, bye bye. Okay, and for all those services, okay, I got the little icons for everybody. Okay, as well, the first 3 months of driving are completely free. Okay, so if you're an active or veteran of the services, you join completely free, and you drive for the first 3 months completely free. There's also a 10% discount for life on the monthly membership. Okay, so if you're at the $199, okay, it is $40 off. Is that good? Yeah, $20 off. Sorry, should be an easy number, right? Pooh, come on, Bill. So $199, you're $20 off, and that's for life. Okay, and I really think that's just absolutely demonstrates Tryp's commitment to the armed services. I mean, clearly, Bob McNulty has a very soft spot in his heart for the armed services because he always includes this and he always makes it better. Okay, I mean, that's just better. Better than it was. It's really good, as a matter of fact. Okay, they gave away a free car. It was a Toyota hybrid. It was a very slick looking car. I saw it driving in, and it was a part of the VIP and the super VIP event. Okay. And all expenses were paid on it. So the lease, it's a 3 years lease, maintenance and insurance, all covered by Tryp. Okay. And the coolest thing, it was won by a driver in the Miami area. I think he was in Fort Lauderdale, and he was so excited. He came up to me on stage, and I was congratulating him, and Bob McNulty was congratulating him. And he said to me, "I've never won anything." I'm like, that changed today, baby. You just won a car, man. Very cool. So a little bit about the state of the Miami launch. Okay, so a lot of people have been asking, my phone's been blowing up all week since the event, asking this. Okay, it is in a beta stage. Okay, they're rolling it out slowly to make sure that any unforeseen issues are resolved in a controlled environment. Okay, this is really important. This is how you do this. I've been in the software industry for a long, long time. You don't just open the floodgates and then have, a big major problem that you didn't know about, because these things do creep up in software development. Okay, big major problems, unforeseen problems happen. Okay, so a lot of people are like, oh, what is it? This is the way you do software. Okay, this is the way you do it. Okay, what they're doing is they're working with local partners in the Miami area, like clubs, events, and that kind of thing. Okay, they're putting drivers. There's about 300 drivers that are already approved and ready to go in this beta system. Okay, they put them on alert saying, hey, on Friday night, we're going to have this big event, or we're going to have this club or whatever. The club or the event are going to give away everybody a ride share that night on Tryp. Okay, it's going to be paid for by Tryp. Okay, and then we're going to have drivers ready to go. So that way we can just monitor everything. Okay, again, in a controlled environment, an environment where the guys are going to be like, yeah, we know that we're the guinea pigs here, so that's cool. I'm putting on my patience cap, and I know it's going to be a guinea pig situation. So, we're just working with Tryp. They're partnering with the company to say, hey, let's make sure that we, roll this thing out well, roll it out responsibly, okay, and get it right, okay. And as I've already said, this is the absolute best way to roll this out. I can't stress this anymore. The company can't stress this anymore. This is the way you do software development. Okay, the company is being smart. Okay, it is a very, very intelligent way to test this to make sure we get any bugs out of the system. Okay, and they've told me that it should be ready and completely rolled out in about 2 weeks. Now, don't hold me to that. Don't hold them to that. Okay, there might be unforeseen things that pop up in this process, but we know that they're doing it right. Okay, I can guarantee you, I've been in the software development business for 20 years. If they didn't do this, I'd be very nervous. Okay, I'd be saying, hold on a second. I'm not. I'm very confident in what they're doing. They're doing it the right way. So let's talk about next cities, because everybody's all, next city, when's it coming to my city? I get it. Okay, we want you there. We want to be there. You want us there. We're all on the same page here. So what they've said is that the next 4 cities will be Orlando, New Orleans, Atlanta, and Phoenix, probably in that order. Okay, so that's really important. Now, Washington, Oregon, New Mexico, Utah, and probably Texas. I should have included Texas on that list. Will be rolling out shortly thereafter. Okay. All other locations will be closer to the end of the year. Okay. They're going to get to them when they can. Okay. It's not that they don't want to be there, but it has to be done right. Okay. But this thing is going to grow really, really fast once it starts growing. Okay. Our advancement to a new city, we will just have teams and teams of people on the ground in those cities. It's going to go really, really fast. So I know you want us there, okay? We want to be there. Trust me, we want to be in your city, okay? But it needs to be done the right way, okay? The goal is to complete Miami and then open a city, one new city a week thereafter. Okay. Bob has said to me he would like to be opening 5 cities per week shortly after that. So, they have to develop their rollout strategy. They have to learn. They have to, do it. They have to fail forward, get up, fix whatever the problem was, and do it again in the next city. Okay. So they will get better and better and better at this and get to the point where we are in your city. Okay. That is coming for certain. Okay. And the question of the day is, are you tripping?